Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tasso Show. Today, we're going to try the PlayStation Now on the PlayStation 4. So, as you can see, I'm on my PlayStation 4 here, and yes, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm gonna start Neo, the World Sense review, and I still have Hatsune Miku Project Diva, Future Stone, and all those kind of games here. But that's not what we are gonna check out today. We're just gonna check out the PlayStation Now on the PlayStation 4 as an interface. Why I'm doing this video? It's because PlayStation Now will pretty soon be gone. By June 13, 2022 in America, PlayStation Now will change to PlayStation Plus Premium. I do not know what it means so far in terms of apps and interface and all those kind of stuff, but you can see that this is right now the PlayStation Now. One thing that was very interesting to me before is that once you're on PlayStation Now, you cannot go back to anything. Well, I guess you can go back here just by pressing the PlayStation button. But as you can see, it's not, you don't press circle will not bring you back and stuff like that. It's as if you're in an app. It's really an app per itself. So you can see this home, and then there's your games. In your games, that's where you can put some items that maybe you selected as part of your list. So I'm going to show you that super quickly. So if I go to, okay, let's go to God of War, for example. You can add or remove from your list here, as you can see. Let's go back up to your games. You can see that your games is ordered in certain ways, the recently played, which all of those you should know because that's the things that I have on my playlist. It's really like a lot of the games that I'm playing for you and for myself as well as game previews. Your list is list items that I added by myself. Unfortunately, it's very restricted. You cannot put that many. It's going to stop at a certain moment. I guess here, I don't know how far it stops, but you can see that maybe there's like 30 of them. Anywho, you can also see a download history. That's interesting. I didn't know that, but you can see that when you downloaded something. Home, let's go back to home quickly. Obviously, home is where things are getting promoted, like all the new games that are promoted or things that's going to be gone. Like Shadow Warrior 3 will be gone on July 4th, 2022. And here you can see it's mostly some curated lists that PlayStation created, like the what's hot, what's hot, which has probably the games that are being the most played or that they consider like the most important right now. Recommended for you, which I guess depend on what games I played, but since I played a lot of general stuff, I assume I get like a mix and match of things. Recently added, which are the ones that are getting added recently. I'm doing this video in May 2022, so that is why you see the last 4 that were added from May, which are Journey to the Savage Planet, sorry, not... What am I talking about? We're on April 2022, not May. I did that in April 2022, so you can see that Journey to the Savage Planet, Werewolf, The Apocalypse, WRC 10, and Outer Wilds were coming from the April 2022 additions. Hours of Fun, which I guess is for a very long game or games that are pretty long. And then a set of collections here. Family Friend. Ooh, what happened? All right, the PlayStation Now bugged down on us. Anyway, we're back in. And you can see here the collections, more like game types. Family friendly in the spotlight, action, adventure, horror, short and sweet. Popular on PlayStation Now, Japanese treasures, PlayStation exclusives, racing, Lego, RPG, shooters, pick up and play, beat them ups. The same than what you can see on the PC app as well, except for obviously the part that talks about downloadable. Because yes, not every single game are downloadable on your PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Because as you know, you could go to this game and actually play download in order to download it, or you can stream it. Me, I love to do the stream, and obviously when you're on PC, there's no play download. You have to have it stream. I do already have Horizon Zero Dawn being installed, so you can see here that it says that it's already installed. Now, if I go to browse, that's where you're gonna see that it's once again in collection with PS3 games, PS4 games, PS2 games. Pretty soon they should add a PlayStation 1 games as well here, and more PlayStation 2 and 3 apparently, if I understood properly. And then you can see that there's look and feel, theme, and so far. So we do have a lot of collections here and there. I'm not a fan of really looking at that this way, but you can go to all games and then you will see it through A to Z, which you can change to Z to A as well. You can decide about the ratings, and you can decide like the type of games that you want here. So the funny thing is that sometimes the games are not really ordered the proper way. So as you can see here, Sam and Max, the Devil's Playhouse, and just the first episode of it is showing up first, but it's not a 0 to 9 or a A to Z, right? So if it was A to Z, it would be on S. So it does happen that there's a little bit of things like that, like detune, same thing. Funnily enough, on the PC app, they don't have that problem. Anyway, you can see like all the games that exist on the PlayStation Now. There's a lot of them. There's really a lot of them. Last time that I actually counted, but it does include games that got removed, there were probably around 600 plus games, which is a lot. And I don't know how many we're gonna have when we're gonna add like the PlayStation 1 and the extra PlayStation 2, 3, 4, and 5 games that they promised. But it may be a pretty long list. And hopefully they're not going to remove from that list. That's the whole thing too. And that is why I do a lot of game previews recently. Now, the last thing that we have to see is the search feature. Because yes, I can search. So let's say that I'm searching for Dead Cell. We're going to do Dead Cell just because I'm curious about something. Okay, you can see that Dead Cells is definitely not showing. Funnily enough, it still does show on the PC app, even though it's not available. So that's why it's interesting. There's a little bit of difference between the various versions that you have of PlayStation Now. Today, my goal is not to go into each of those games and explain to you like how many games there is. I just wanted to do an overview of the interface here because I'm curious about how they're going to change it with PlayStation Plus Premium. Are they going to completely change it, or are they just going to keep it the same? Obviously, I do not have a PlayStation 5 yet, so I don't know how PlayStation Now looked like on PlayStation 5. So my apologies about that. But one thing that is interesting here that maybe I'll be able to show you. Perfect. So you see the WWE 2019. It's going to leave PS Now in 16 days. Sometime you do not know, unfortunately, when things are leaving PlayStation Now. It's somewhat mentioned sometimes and on their website, but not all of them. And that's always surprising. So for example, Undertale was a perfect example of things where it was leaving the PS Now, but they didn't mention it up until super late. Well, they didn't mention it on the website at all, actually. It's me, by stroke of luck, I went to the PlayStation 4 version and I saw that it was a leaving PS Now in a couple of days, like the Vice City here. Shadow Warrior, you can see in 65 days. Let's see if there's something else that says that it's leaving. So that is the only thing that's a little bit stressful when you actually use the PlayStation Now, is that you don't know when some of the games may be gone. Maybe never, and hopefully never. but it's not always the case, unfortunately. So now that you know all of this, you can see that there's a little bit of difference, but it's not necessarily that different. One of the items that I may want to show you here is the difference between some of the games that are downloadable versus the ones that are not. So here you can see that Day of the Tentacle, it's a PlayStation 4 game and it's downloadable. But let's go to um, what is a game that may not be downloadable? Is here. Let's find a game that will not be downloadable. A game that comes from PlayStation 3. But right now you can see that they did a good job because nearly everything is downloadable nowadays. But before it wasn't the case. There were a lot of games that were not downloadable. Maybe Heavy Rain. No, Heavy Rain is downloadable because we have a PlayStation 4 version of it. Most of the time, the games that are considered PlayStation 3 are not downloadable, or PlayStation 2. So maybe if we can find a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 2 game, I may have, unfortunately, to go into certain lists for that. Yeah, because definitely that collection by default here is not having many PlayStation 2 games unless... Nope. All right, let's go to Actually, I'm going to go to my games because Silent Hill HD Collection is a PlayStation 3. And yes, you can see that there's only a stream now. And oh my goodness, we're going to have it gone in 16 days. No. So you see that the perfect problems that I was mentioning is that sometimes you don't know when some games will leave. Like you just have to figure it out by yourself by looking at it. Let's see within this game here. House of Dead 3 will be gone in 16 days too. Awesome. That's a Sony game, so I doubt that it's going to be gone. Okay. It seems that a lot of the PlayStation 3 game may disappear. Well, thankfully the Atelier does not. Okay, Akiba's Beat, for example, is leaving in 2 days. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Now I'm gonna have to go to every single game and see which one are leaving because I just want to make sure that I can do some game preview of them before they're gone, especially if it's something I don't have in other consoles or PC. All right, that's it. I just wanted to do a quick run through of everything so that you're aware. Hopefully it's interesting to you. For me, it always has been. I think that PlayStation Now was a great service. Personally, I really liked it. I know that there's a lot of small bugs, unfortunately, that exist. But in general, it wasn't bad. It was really okay. And I really appreciated the PlayStation Now. I don't know what we're going to have in May and June as games before we change to the PlayStation Plus Premium, but I'm very excited to see that soon. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. I may combine it with another video of PlayStation Now, or I may not. But that's the first time I'm using OBS Studio and the first time I'm using my other media with my voice and using the console directly, which is super exciting for me. But thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Toss out. Bye bye.